Have you ever wondered if you should EQ or compress first? This simple choice can really change how your mix sounds. Today I'm spilling the beans on the secrets behind this technique that top engineers use but rarely explain. By the end of this video you will know exactly what to do to get your mixes sound cleaner, fuller and more professional. Hey guys, I am DJ Legion from AudioWorks Academy and today I want to talk about something important. This is one of the most common questions that I get. Should you EQ or compress first? And I can really get why this is confusing. Both EQ and compression shape how your audio sounds, but the order about how you use them affects your final mix. Well, in my experience, mixing isn't just a one-size-fits-all process. Decisions like the order of EQ and compression are totally up to you, and guess what? Many award-winning engineers have figured out that experimenting with different techniques can really make their sound unique. But you know what was the key for them? They understood the why behind each approach. EQ or equalization is about adjusting the volume of certain frequencies in your audio. You can either boost or cut these frequencies to make the audio sound cleaner or more balanced. For example, if a vocal sounds too muddy, you might cut the low frequencies to clean it up, or if it is too harsh, you can lower the high frequencies. Now the compression helps control the dynamic range of your audio. It makes quiet sounds louder and loud sounds quieter. As a result, this makes everything sound smoother and more consistent. For example, if a singer's voice gets too loud at certain points, a compressor can help control those peaks without losing the natural feel. Now let's go and talk about the EQ before compression. When you EQ before compressing, you clean up the audio before controlling its dynamics. In other words, you are removing unwanted frequencies before compression, which means that you are only compressing the sound that you actually want. This makes the compressor work more efficiently when you want to use it. If your audio has a lot of unnecessary frequencies like rumble in a vocal track or harshness on your hi-hats, where EQing before compression lets you remove those issues early. Let me show you an example here. Right now I have the shaker that without any compression and EQing, it sounds like this. And if I go and open here my Pro Q4, you are going to see that I am taming a bit the high frequencies here because I didn't like how it sounded. I found it was a bit too harsh. And then I activated here the compressor. And right now I am compressing at 4 dBs. On this channel I have the compressor again, but this time it comes first and it is the same actual settings that we had also on the previous one. So the compressor comes first, we have the same threshold, ratio, attack, release and everything the same. But now if I go and let it play, you are going to see that we are attenuating minus 6.3. This happens because we have these frequencies here that they come through higher. And this makes the compressor work harder. So here on my left side I have the compressor first and then the EQ, and on the right side I have the EQ and then the compressor. I hope this example really cleared things up why I went and did first the EQ cut there and then I used the compressor. By the way, if you are enjoying this breakdown, make sure to hit the subscribe button. One of my biggest goals for 2025 is to reach 15k subs. So I think it is really impossible to say the truth, but your support would mean the world to me. Plus, I have so much more to share with you this year, so you don't want to miss it. But let me break it first on step by step. First, we have to listen to the raw track, pay attention to any frequencies that you think that don't belong there or are too overpowering. For example, right now on the shaker, we don't need these low frequencies. And we can take out a bit here the harshness. So that's why I did here a low cut. And then I took out like 4 dBs. Because I wanted, this is my personal preference, I wanted the shakers to have not so much high there because I was having a little bit problem on my mixing process. So after you understood what we need to take out, you can go and take out here the low frequencies because you don't need them right now here. And you can go and attenuate the harsh frequencies from the shakers. Now that the unwanted frequencies are out or attenuated, the compressor can do its job without reacting to any unwanted frequencies. And the results, you are going to get a cleaner sound because the compressor isn't wasting energy and power on frequencies that shouldn't be there. That's why when I go and activate it, you are going to see again that we are having a minus 4 dB reduction and not a minus 6 dB reduction. If you are enjoying these tips and want to take a deeper dive into mastering techniques, I have created a course all about mastering with FabFilter plugins. It is packed with step-by-step guidance and advanced techniques to help you achieve this professional sound. You can find it on the description below, definitely worth checking it out if you are serious about mastering. Now let's go back to where we left. So in my honest opinion, this chain is best when your track has too much low end or harshness or the unwanted frequencies that I mentioned earlier. Clean up the sound first and then go to compress. Now let's go and flip the order. When you compress first, you smooth out the dynamics of the sound before shaping its frequencies. Compressing before EQ can also let you enhance the sound more naturally. Once the levels are even, you can make smaller and more focused EQ adjustments without worrying about volume spikes. When do you use this? If the sound is already balanced but needs more control over its dynamics. For example, a vocal that has uneven volume levels, not the whole time but a little bit, and you need a little bit more control there. Now let's go and apply this technique. First, we're going to use this vocal here. And if I go and open here my Pro C2, I am not doing so much. If you see, I am going to attenuate like -2, -2.5, somewhere there. And I have a medium attack and medium release, and also the gain we are boosting like 2 dBs that we attenuated. The ratio is 2:1, and here the threshold is just a little bit to get this one here to -2.8. What I did here, I just started by using a compressor to control the peaks in the audio. My aim for this approach was to have a smooth and controlled dynamic range. But let me play a bit before and after the compressor. If you listen carefully, you're going to notice that the audio is more even when the compressor is activated. After the compression, I just went and used the Pro Q3 to take out some frequencies. For example, okay, here I went at 200 because we have a female vocal and I didn't need these low frequencies there. And I took out also some other things, but this is not the case today. But I would like also to show you the difference when the EQ comes first or when the compressor comes first. I have the vocal with the EQ and then the compressor, and with the same settings, I have here the compressor and then the EQ. Have a listen and tell me if you find any difference. I can hear right away that right now, when I have the compressor first, the vocal becomes like more consistent. So in this case, I would go and use this technique. But I want also to have a listen how it sounds with all track together. Here you're going to have a look like the first part where the blues are. You're going to see only the EQ and the compressor then. And then we have the yellow section here, which is the compressor first, and then the EQ second. So have a listen and tell me also what do you think. If you listen carefully, you are going to hear a big difference there. So the question is now, when should you use each method? Here's the secret. There is no one size fits all, as we already said. Both methods work, but each one is better in different situations. If you're not so sure which one to use, just go and try both. Duplicate your track and apply EQ before compression on the first one, and on the second one, go and use the compressor first and then the EQ. Just go and compare the results to see which one sounds better for you. Well, how I use it, I use both in my mix. So for more complex mixes, you don't have to choose one method over the other. You can do both. This is my personal preference, and because this two-step process gives you much more control and flexibility in shaping your music. Here's how I use it. I start with a EQ before compression, and I use there EQ to cut out the bad frequencies first and then compress to smooth out the sound. After compressing, I add another EQ. This second EQ is for coloring, which means boosting for me, or cutting again any frequencies that might need this extra tweaking that you couldn't do earlier. So now you know the secrets behind EQ and compression on the chain. Which method are you going to use first? Let me know in the comments below. And by the way, if you're looking to improve your vocals in your mix but you still don't know how, you have to check out this video right here. There, I will show you how to make your voice sound fuller and more powerful. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. See you there.